Welcome to CM Podcast.
We're creating movement. Are we live?
Are we live? For those of you who will be listening to this, and if you're listening for us or listening to us for the first time, the Are We Live came from the very first one. So you should ask us for the link.
So, Eljay wanted to show our ghetto setup right now. So we're running 2 cameras and 1 higher quality mic. We have a laptop that has to be propped against a weightlifting belt, and then we got a GoPro. It looks like this.
It's more of a tablet, yeah.
So there,
Shout out to Rise.
there's our weightlifting belt laptop, and there's the GoPro.
Apple product. We have our GoPro.
So that's our setup. Today we're going to be talking about time and cell phone usage, awareness.
Just being aware of how we use our time and what's really going on in our lives day in and day out.
Where do you want to start?
You have the notes.
I've got the master note.
You have the master notes now.
So basically what I did was we crunched down average time in a day. So I've got 6 topics. You want me to just rattle them off?
Yeah.
So to make a quick summary of this, we spend our time every day typically doing the same tasks. Task 1 is normally sleeping roughly 8 hours a day. In our lifetime, that's roughly 9,600 days where we're sleeping for about 30% of our life. Eating roughly 67 minutes a day. Drinking 101 minutes a day. Sorry, that's driving. Working 40 hours a day. I divided that by 7, so it's 5.7 hours per day. In the internet, just browsing the internet, in 2010, the stats I got was it was an average of 32 hours per month. This is 4 years after Facebook was created, and Facebook wasn't at its peak yet, so I think that usage is downplayed. But we'll still keep it 1 hour per day, but it's probably higher now. TV, roughly 3 hours per day.
Which are 4, depending on what you do.
Yeah, which takes roughly half of our leisure time. So to summarize, in a 24-hour day, between these 6 categories discussed of just sleep, eating, driving, working, internet, and TV, that's 19 hours roughly used up. So we have 5 extra hours in the day. And we're going to discuss kind of where those hours go, I guess.
Normally.
Yeah.
So, what's next on our notes? Phone. Is that something that we talk about now?
That's more social media. So we are talking about the phone. What do you think people are like when it comes to internet? That's the big category that has the big discrepancy. In 2010 it was an hour, and now it's probably much more than that. So my cell phone personally says I spend about 4 hours on my phone
a day.
Every day, average. And I'm 30 years old. The stats I've received in UK was ages between 18 to 24 spend 4 hours a day, and then anybody older is 3 hours. So I'm above the normal. I'm above average.
When you think about it, that's that's a lot. That's a lot of hours.
4 hours a day on this screen turned on.
But then again, sometimes you get into that hole where, you know what, you watch one, you go to your Instagram, you watch one video, and then the feed just goes. You flip on one, and then you watch, and then you flip on one, and then you watch. I've been in that hole.
So, just using myself as an example, my battery power consumed by my phone is probably the time spent on it. Highest one is a video game. It's 20% of my phone power is run through a video game. That video game that I'm playing, this is a weird topic now though, it's an autoplay game. So like
it's
I press a button and the game plays itself, and then I'm cooking dinner while the game's playing itself, and then I get that satisfaction. I'm like, oh, I got stuff in a video game while like I killed 2 birds, 1 stone. Next.
So it counts it even if it's not on screen?
No, the screen has to stay on.
Oh, okay.
So
you cannot like minimize the app and it plays by itself. You said it was. You showed
Some
me
games
it was a timer.
Some games do, but not the one that I'm playing. The next one on my list is podcast. Takes another 20%.
Which I don't think is a bad thing.
So that's driving, walking the dog, doing chores, cleaning. And then the next one is Instagram, Facebook Messenger, YouTube, Facebook. So all the big social media platforms. Boom, 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 boom.
I wish I could see mine. I don't know how mine works.
Oh, what's on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of my phone time. What do you think people are spending the majority of the time on their phone?
Right now, you see everyone, even if you sit beside someone or you're talking. Sometimes, even when you have, that's hard because I think I've done it too, and I think I've even done it to people I love. Shout out to my wife. But when we're chatting, we were talking about habits earlier while we were in the kitchen.
Like that?
Exactly. Right? So we're chatting, she's telling me something. All of a sudden, it's like automatically, the phone just comes out of your pocket, and then you just like turn it on, and then you start scrolling, and then you kind of tune out.
It's brutal.
It is crazy, man, and I don't feel good. AJ, I love you if you're listening to this.
It's brutal because...
but it's a habit that's hard to break.
That actually happens a lot, just in general conversation. Yeah. Even though, like
even when we're eating lunch together, like let's say you meet Denza.
We're having conversation, but everyone...
And then everyone, all of a sudden, like the phone just comes out.
I've even had it though on my computer screen or my tablet if I'm doing work. If I'm doing work, it's not socially acceptable, but it's more socially acceptable now, I think, where I've had people come and talk to me while I'm working, but the work is my priority because I gotta get it done. I'm running tight time, but people want to talk to me and they want to interact with me, and it's more acceptable, I guess, nowadays, maybe not respectful, but acceptable that I can crunch on my tablet and try to carry a conversation with somebody looking up and down and up and down. And people will still continue to engage in conversation with me, whereas sometimes I'll be like, Eljay, look at me, bro, like talk to me. Yeah. So
like you were this morning?
Pay attention to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I don't like talking to people when they're looking at a device. Yeah, like that's exactly it, right? Like you could be sitting there typing an email while I'm trying to talk to you, and I'm like, pay attention to me.
But then again, that's another habit that got created by all this. What I'm trying to say is, it became acceptable now that, hey, because before, when someone's working, you don't just approach someone and start chatting them up while they're doing something.
Yeah,
it never happened before, right? But now, since everyone, even when we're chatting, like we're always on our phone doing something, texting someone, or even like sometimes like the phone's ringing, I'm trying to get a phone call going, and then you're still talking. Like it's acceptable when someone's doing something now, which is, again, I don't think is a really good thing.
No.
But what do? We are consumed by our phones.
It's weird that it's like everyone knows it's a bad thing, but it is more socially acceptable now, like I said, it's socially, like people will say it's not, but it is socially acceptable because you see it everywhere. You go to a restaurant, you go to work, you hang out with your friends, everyone's got their phone out, everyone will admit or they'll crack jokes. Like I've done it where I'll see somebody on their phone in a group of friends and I'm like, man, look at that group of friends, they're all on their cell phone. Mm-hmm. And I'll acknowledge it and point them out, like almost
that's horrible,
like judgmental, like oh man, look at that, that's so stupid. And then I'm doing it the next day where we're in like a group of 5 people. 5 of us are walking to go get coffee, all 5 on our cell phones because we didn't have anything to say, and the silence is no longer acceptable, it's uncomfortable, so we might as well look at our phone because the brain's firing signals being like bing, 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 like you might as well check something, you got some spare time.
And it's almost like you want to call it out. Like for me, I almost want to call it out when that happens. It's like, okay, stop for a sec. What are you looking at on your phone? What are you looking at on your phone? It's just...
And it's normally useless garbage.
Exactly.
So even on Instagram or Facebook, I've lost interest in Facebook because Facebook is either just people bitching on their like status, or it's just random stupid videos. And I probably get 5 random stupid videos sent to me a day. I can think of 3 that I already got today, where people will send me a gym fail or a cute dog or something happened, like a hiccup, like a fail, that hold no value to me, but it's 10 seconds of quick entertainment, and then you can be like, ha ha ha, and then you move on. It is literally like 15 seconds of a huge wasted time for like...
See, I don't have a lot of that in my social media, I don't think so. But then again, I went on, probably 2 years ago, I went on sorry for some of the people who I've deleted, but I've deleted a few people, unfollowed a lot of people. Most of the guys that I follow now are either like doctors, physiotherapists, high level athletes that I feel like I can learn something from. So it's almost like a tool for me to gain like bits and pieces of information and knowledge and wisdom. But it's almost even that same thing, even though it's a good thing that I'm learning, it's almost like a bad thing if you're with someone or trying to have a carry a conversation, and then you start flipping through your phone because you're just so used to consuming information, whether it's like top of the priority or not. It's just something that you do.
I wonder how much of that information actually gets translated into like long-term memory, where you actually like truly remember. If you're following all doctors and physios and it's all quality information, it's hard to retain all of that.
Well, I mean, you can. I feel like you can only retain some of that kind of information if you compile it in like somewhere. Like for me, I told you I go to church. I make notes. I actually jot down notes, right? Then I can go back through it, and then it kind of gets engraved in how you talk and how you live your life.
Yeah, I think you're kind of you're an outlier in that sense, though. Most young guys, either our age or younger, on their Instagram is just filled with stupid comedy, gorgeous women just showing off unrealistic standards, and like it's just like this big scramble pack of just like all this random information like that doesn't mean anything to you or hold any value.
But it's
just like
it lights up a part of your brain that it's entertaining, and it's right.
I want to know if I post a story, what's Eric up to? Like, like
everyone will click. I click.
Yeah, I know. Right? It's random though. Like I'll post a video of me doing a handstand, then I'll post a video of me eating breakfast, then I'll post a picture of my cat. And I'm like, does it hold any information?
No.
0.
But they click.
Does it hold information for me to share that with people? Not really.
So why do you do it?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Right? Well, not only a question is to me that why do I click on it, right?
I feel like it's just a form of like, it kind of still makes you feel like you're in the loop.
So
it makes you feel like you're in the loop for a degree of like, so no word of a lie, because me and you have become closer, I will actually, my brain sees your picture if you looked at my stuff. So if I post a picture of me doing a handstand, I'll sometimes go and look. I have a habit, I want to see who's looking at my stuff. And my eyeball will be like, bing, Eljay saw it. I'm like, oh, okay. And for some reason, to me, that's like, good. It's like, good, Eljay saw it. He needed to see that.
Do you get any, and I guess a lot of people do this too, like do you become happy, or do you get satisfaction when people watches your stuff or listen to your stuff for that matter, right? Like, is that addicting? Is that why maybe you post like, hey, a picture of my cat, but I know someone will look at it and someone might comment on it, oh, your cat's gorgeous, oh, what a beautiful cat, blah blah blah, or hey, what food was that? Like, it's almost like, it does create, because it keeps you in the loop, it can create some talking points. No, what I'm saying is from your end, from the one who's posting, is there satisfaction that, hey, a lot of people like this, they send me fire, they send me applause, they send me 100%, not that. What I do enjoy though, like I posted a handstand, I did an eccentric handstand push-up straight. I probably got 5 people mentioning about that, about either, hey, that's impressive, or that's challenging, or good work. It actually stems more of a natural conversation, whereas if somebody just gave me like a thumbs up, that means nothing to me. Okay. But so I looked right now from the story I posted this morning, like 150 people saw it.
I don't really pay attention to the 150 people, but I'll look for the important people in my life. So when I like post them my story, right now, I look for Denza, and I'm like, oh, Denza saw it. Oh, Diane saw it. Oh, LJ saw it. Okay, cool. And then I shut it down. For some reason, my eyeball searches for your guys, and I can almost see it. Your picture on Instagram, I don't know what it is, but I know the colors.
On the background.
And I kind of know the background.
It's so little too, right?
Like, I don't know if it's you flexing or holding somebody or doing something, but I know like the colors are red and blue.
That's a good question. Actually, I think I have a picture of myself and 2 of my kids.
Yeah, it's a red and blue, like red and purple and blue background. You're holding 2 kids.
Where do I even find that picture?
It's right here.
Well, I know that, but how can I make that big?
Oh, you can't. But yeah.
It won't focus.
So regardless, though, my eyeball, get out of there. My eyeball looks for that. For some reason, there's something in my
As soon
brain.
as you see it.
The trigger of my brain of satisfaction is basically like the people that I know that I want to talk to, right?
But then again,
doesn't mean anything.
let's go back to their point of view. Why do people, like, will it register even if you just like tap on the right side? It will register as someone saw it even if they didn't look at the whole video? I didn't know that. Okay. I just thought you have to see the whole video before you appear on that.
This transitions into the topic, though, of social media, cell phones, wasting time. Businesses, social media platforms, they have all like video games. They've had like psychologists like figure out a way to make these triggers light up our brain more so that we spend more time on it and then we want to go back to it. One of the statistics I found was that the younger generation between 15 to 25 check their cell phone 160 times a day, or roughly an average of every 9 minutes. And when I say this, I mean like they can pull their phone out of their pocket, see if they got a message, if not, put it back in. Pull it out, check the time, put it back in. Pull it out, check the date, put it back in. Did I get a message? Put it back in. So 9 times, like an average of every 9 minutes, a cell phone is looked at in the younger generation. Just quickly.
I almost want to. How many times do you think you check your phone? That's
weird.
almost scary.
There's probably an app. I wonder if there's an app that would like tell you how many times. Like there's apps that tell you how much time your phone has been on, but how many times
you've checked.
How many times you click that bastard open? I'm
sure Google can answer that for us.
Probably. No. So I have all the notes, so I'm just gonna keep going right here. Some more quick blasted stats. 75% of people use their phone as an alarm clock. 90% of people feel uncomfortable leaving their phone at home. Are you one of those people?
I think for the sole purpose of...
So yes.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's a fear or just a concern that if my wife calls me and she needs me home.
So it's not a fear, it's just they feel uncomfortable. There's a sensation of like, man, I don't got my phone with me.
Yeah, right.
So for you it's the wife, it could be the kids, it could be emergencies. But like
that's more for emergencies for me.
20 years ago, not many people had pagers. Exactly. If you were out of the house, you were out of the house. You're dead to the world. You can't be found.
Again, 20 years ago, I don't think the world is as messed up as...
I think it's They talk about now as one of the best times to live and one of the worst times to live. But
the present time is always like that, though.
50% of people look at their phone while driving. 75% of the people admit they're addicted to their phone. To just kind of go back, I'm uncomfortable leaving my cell phone at home because I like being connected. I do have
connected to what?
It's connected to everything.
Which is what your phone, like...
Because, like, if I went to the dentist's office, I used to want to look for a magazine, a book, or a toy as a child. Now I don't need to.
No.
This is everything. This is friends, family, video games, like YouTube.
Information, whatever.
It is magazines. They have magazine apps on the phone. You don't need magazines.
They have
books.
Everything.
Yeah. So I will look at my phone while I'm driving. Not a proud statement, but mostly at a red light, I'll pull it out and look quickly. So it's more so when I'm at a red light. I feel like shit though when I'm like at a red light and I look up and I'm like, oh, I missed the green, or someone honks at me and I'm like, oh damn, like I shouldn't have looked at my phone. Not a proud statistic, but it's 50% of people, so it's 50% of you guys too.
Actually, it doesn't.
Shame.
Well, because right now with the truck that I drive, I don't have Bluetooth. I don't have anything. I can't plug my phone in. So when I'm listening to a podcast, I have a headphones, a pair of headphones.
Which isn't safe either.
No, not at all. It's an in-ear pair of headphones as well.
So that's the difference with like if there's an ambulance behind you, you can't hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, the volume is like maxed out because I just want to be part of that podcast or conversation that I'm listening to, right? But I only check the phone when it beeps. I don't really, like I said, I don't put it on silent, right? So I would know if someone's calling or someone's texting or emailing, and then it's just like a quick glance.
Yeah.
The not so proud moment is I take a quick glance even though I'm in the highway. So it's not just the red. But 9 times out of 10, if nobody texts me, I don't check it. Because the podcast I listen to, I make sure that it's like more than 30 minutes to cover my drive.
Yeah.
Right?
So 75% of people admit they're addicted to their phone. I'll admit that I'm probably one. Mm-hmm. 64% of people upgraded their phone in the past year. We're talking big money every year. So every 2 years, people are upgrading their phone. I'm one of those as well. With that being said, we're talking about consumerism and money. So there's big money in the cell phone market.
There is a big money.
60% of people check their phones over 160 times per day, looking for messages, time, dates, weather. 50% of people look at their phone when they're out on a date. Whether you're fresh,
fresh,
married, whatever.
Yeah.
60% of people text somebody in the same room, and 70% of their people use their phone on the toilet.
I am one of those, which is almost disgusting to say.
So some habits with the phone that I've created for myself. Mm-hmm. Me and Diane have recently eliminated the phones out of the bedroom. Mm-hmm. The phones stay in the kitchen. When we go to the bedroom, we have no phone. That's been very beneficial. I'm not going to get into that, but that's been very beneficial. Mm-hmm. The other one that we do probably 50% of the time though is if we take the dog to the dog park or going for a nice walk in nature, we'll leave the phone in the truck.
That's the best.
But that only happens 50% of the time because sometimes the phone wins in the sense that we have these autoplay games. We're like, yo, while we're walking the dog, this is the perfect time to get ahead in the game. Gotcha. So the cell phone is literally in the pocket playing a video game while we're walking, but you have to look at it every couple minutes to make sure the game's still running, right? So 50% of the time, we take the phones on the dog walk. It's way better without the phone, but those little triggers are firing, like pulling so hard like tug of war.
Yeah. It's crazy. For me, and I can say this truthfully, that the best times that I have is when I'm not with my phone. So I swim with the kids, or I go for like an intense workout unless I'm recording the workout, which is I'm planning to do. Well, actually, that will be with camera though, so that won't be with my phone.
Yeah.
I don't know, but for me, I don't feel that good when I don't see my phone. Like even when I'm working out, sometimes even if I'm not recording, you see my phone like, right just sitting on the floor with my chalk.
Yeah. It's with us. It's always close.
It's always close. But then again, that's me. I feel like my wife is always going to call me or is going to tell me something that I need to know right away. I don't know if that's just me being a dad with 4 kids, all under the age of 7. That if she needs me, I'm out the door and I'm not going to miss 2 minutes or 3 minutes of whatever, you know what I'm saying?
There's some validity to that, but there's also not.
I know, because it never happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And she also knows, and I know that she knows this, we've talked about this before, that if you call me and I don't answer my phone, you call the club right away, because most of the time I'm in the club. And when I leave the club, I used to go to Frontier for my workouts, right? Like, she can't call me at Frontier. That's why like when I'm working out at Frontier, I'm probably the only ones who have the phone in there for some reason, right? But I just want to make sure that I don't miss a call, especially if it's an important call from the wife.
So these uncomfortable feelings, though, 91% of people feel uncomfortable leaving their phone at home. I'm one of those, but the sensation does not last super long. Once I'm like, oh no, I forgot my phone at home. Oh man, oh damn. And it actually, like, it's a little bit of anxiety. Then it'll dissipate. And then I probably have a way better day.
Maybe, or I feel like some people, not talking about you, not talking about me, but when we say that it's already a habit for some people, they'd be walking, right? Or chatting with people, and then they're just like reaching their pocket, and it's probably there still, and then it will remind them constantly that you don't have your phone with you.
Yeah.
And you probably have 72 emails and a few messages online that you haven't checked yet. So
let's rip around to a quick topic here of YouTube and Twitch. For those of you who don't know what Twitch is, it's a streaming service that allows you to stream more than what it used to be. It used to just be video games, but now there's guys streaming their volleyball games, their game of pool. The comedian you went to the bar, we could bring our phone, post it up, and stream our game of pool. Eljay versus Eljay, game of pool. There's people that watch that.
I know.
We talked about that earlier. And there's people that are making millions of dollars from playing video games for 12 hours a day, just sitting in their chair with an audience of 20 to 50,000 people to a million plus subscribers. I'm talking 20 to 50,000 live viewers. But it's more than that. That's nuts.
So think about that. I made notes on that while we were chatting about that earlier today.
Yeah.
And I almost, what did I say there?
Oh, yeah, I got it. What you basically said was people are willing to give up their lives to watch other people live their lives.
Is that crazy though? When you think about it, it's like instead of making your own dreams or your own reality or just living yours, you're sitting there literally watching them live theirs, and it's not even living really because they're playing video games.
I feel like
I don't hate people who play video games, but
this is also the same could be said for reality TV.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Reality TV was created before these streaming services, I think, and it's literally watched like Big Brother. People living in a house with jobs. And they have
some of them are funny, some of them are horny, some of them are dickheads.
Here's all the different personalities of them. Whoa, it's so
all
crazy.
In one roof, watch it unfold. And again, I don't think there's anything. I'm not hating those people who watch TV. I watch a little bit of TV myself. My wife and I do that at night to kind of unwind. Probably not the best way to unwind. But I just feel like all of us, majority of us, since all these stats are here, you got it online. I feel like we can all have a better use of our time.
Yes, that's a powerful statement. Just about we need to better utilize our time. I want to jump ahead to two quick topics, and then we'll wrap it up maybe. In regards to cell phone and time and money, don't burn your face off with your coffee.
My wife bought me this mug. It's the best mug I've ever had. It holds about 500 ml, and it keeps my drink extra hot in the morning.
You're not sponsored, stop.
That's right. I pour it. She does. She pours it at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's still hot at like 3 p.m. So
talking on your cell phone, consumerism. How people utilize the phone to make money, but also spend money. So every but clothing brands, like I have the Lululemon app on my phone, so I can shop Lululemon stuff just to see if they got anything new out that's cool. And I'll do that on the toilet, and I need to be saving money, and I need to be getting my finances better. But one of the things I'll do in my head is if I'm like chilling, I'll go on the Lululemon app and see if they have anything.
Well, not only that. Oh, it's on sale.
Oh, it's on sale. Yeah, no, it's not. And then I'll go on the Facebook Marketplace. Facebook has like a garage sale thing that you can look at. And the more you skim that though, it'll start knowing kind of what you're looking for. It'll feed it to you. Yeah. So I'm fed things I need. Like I want bedside tables and a coffee table and entrance bench for my foyer. It'll feed that information to me, showing me more. So I'll go back to it and keep looking.
Yeah.
When we talk about not just Facebook ads and stuff, so my whole house is riddled with Google. So Google's listening to our conversations and stuff like that. People think conspiracy, but people nowadays are starting to get those weird coincidences where it's like, yo, Eljay, man, that rogue hat is so sick, man. Like, I love that rogue hat you're wearing right now. And then all of a sudden, my phone's gonna start showing me rogue hats specifically. I'm like, weird, me and Eljay were talking about rogue hats, and then rogue hats. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, it's all pumping rogue hats at me, and then I'm like, ah, man, it's on sale.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Then the self-inflicted ads. Do you want to talk about that?
Which is what, yeah.
So, self-inflicted, I do this.
Subscribe to.
I do this, I know other people do, but you subscribe to the product because you want to stay in the loop with it. Mm-hmm. So my clothing brands is like Virus, weightlifting clothes, and Live Fit, Rogue. Like, this is Live Fit, that's Rogue. You follow Rogue, I follow Live Fit. With all of these clothes, I follow them on Instagram, and they'll pump out ads to me that I appreciate because I feel like, ooh,
yeah.
I got a limited edition Live Fit jacket. They only made 200 of them. I'm like, ooh, I only got one of 200, yo. How I got that jacket? I followed them on Instagram, and I saw that they released it at a certain time.
Yeah.
So it's like self-inflicted. Like, I need to go on my Instagram and unfollow the products that I do not need to purchase and waste my money on because it's triggering my brain to be like, oh, I want the new pair of pants, or I want a Rogue hat, or I want the new Virus tights. Mm-hmm. Virus got some sick tights out right now. Do I need them? No. Do I want them? Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about games. Basically, you ended off with every habit starts with a decision.
Yeah. And I think that is from, we were talking about that earlier, that you game and I don't, and I think habits or things that you do day in, day out if they all start with just one decision of, you know what, I'm going to do it. Because that's what you did. You gave it a chance. I didn't.
It's also environment, though.
That too.
Environment being like, I started playing video games when I was a kid because our friends had video games, and
I play video games too, right? But now that I'm a little older, I guess I don't know why, but I never gave it a chance. But I was addicted to other stuff. Yeah. Like, I was into cars. I was into bikes, right? I played ball. I love hanging out. I was partying a lot. So I was like using my time on something different. You were using your time on just something different, but it still goes down to that point where it was one decision that sparked your habits. Yeah. Whether it's good or bad, it is one decision.
You know, the funny thing is, people justify their habits to make it seem like it's not a big deal. If I stayed at home playing 5 hours of video games on a Saturday night, I was like, hey, at least I'm not out at the bar, you know? Spending hundreds of dollars and blowing money, and,
or even I'm already at 100 sessions, right? Like, they'll justify whatever.
Right. I've already done my work at work, so I can play more video game. I did my chores. So with this time, when we say 19 hours of your day is consumed, you have 5 hours left. Those 5 hours, you justify wasting it because you're like, I already did what I have to do. Mm-hmm. I already worked hard. So rather than focus it on growth and building yourself up or chasing your dreams, you're like, I earned this wasted time. I earned this video game time. And I'm not like, I don't want to be a progression Nazi though either and be like, you always have to be growing because it's Friday night right now. This weekend, I definitely want to sit down and play some Assassin's Creed on PlayStation 4 and relax.
Yeah.
And I earned that time, Eljay.
Did you now? You got 100 sessions yet? No. But yeah, every every habit that you have, I believe, stemmed up from just one decision. So I encourage everyone who's watching this or listening to this, just check your habits. Is it something that's breaking you, or is it something that's making you or creating you to be a better you? All of us will have our flaws. Like, again, sometimes I get into that hole where it's like an Instagram video or even a Facebook video. It's like a friend's video that you watch, you click on it, and then you watch their video, and then all of a sudden there's a feed underneath that, and then it's like a gazillion videos, right?
I want to end this podcast off. Check your habits, but specifically check your cell phone habits, because that is clearly the destructive behavior that most people are struggling with. So chances are you are too. So check your habits, your time management, your cell phone.
And if you think that you are not one of those people who are addicted to their phones,
stop lying to yourself.
Or social media, stop lying to yourself. No, hit us up. Let us know what you've been doing, or is it a conscious effort, or is it just natural to you that you don't check your phone? I still know a few people who don't own phones. We're talking about your client.
Old people.
Yeah, old people. Yeah, the client one of my clients, actually the GM at Midnapore, didn't have a cell phone until he became a trainer 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He's 57.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's sign off.
Thank you guys for listening.
Create movement.
Bye-bye.